Sister Elizabeth, we're here live in the house. We had some difficulties, and we're here. Nothing's going to stop us. Let them shut this down, shut that down, let's shut it down, and we're here. I'm glad to see you here. You know, I'm that warrior, and you're that warrior queen also, and we don't play. Sister Elizabeth, we're here to speak about the emasculation agenda of the black man continues. And if you saw the thumbnail for this show, should I pop it on so everybody is clear on the same page? Let me just pop this bad boy on so you can get a dose of it, because some people may not have seen the actual thumbnail for it, but here it is, blam. And I say, God dog, what the heck is going on? Elizabeth, you sent this to me. I could not believe it. I also saw that Judge Joe Brown responded on Twitter from the official Playboy Twitter. And you know, look, I'll get banned or knocked off for something minor. They take a swing at me as a black man and put me up looking like that. Now, that's not me on the thing, but I'm just saying it might as well be me. I find it to be very insulting. How did you feel when you saw that photo?
You know, but just here lately, we are trying to normalize all of this. So when I immediately saw that on my Twitter feed, and then I follow this channel called Heavily Flawed Individual, he actually just did a quick upload of it as well. But when I immediately saw it on Twitter, I was, of course, aghast. All sorts of triangular thoughts were going through my mind, i.e., so this solidifies what the agenda is. It's kind of like when you think about when this magazine actually first started, he was already receiving ridicule for that, okay? Because the gentleman who owned the magazine originally bought a picture of, I believe it was Marilyn Monroe. He owned the rights to this particular nude of Marilyn Monroe. And at the time when he came out in the 70s, the late 70s, he himself was in uncharted waters, but he was speaking to the audience of men, if you will,
Right.
and men's tastes and what they want to see and this kind of thing. So fast forward to now, and the gentleman who started this magazine, although we know it is not black owned, however, black men, he had black bunnies in there, and he had black men who were buying these magazines.
Right.
Fast forward to 2021, and it makes you wonder. I believe that he would have agreed with it, and I'll tell you why. There had always been rumors, as you know, Lance, about his backdoor dealings, and I mean that figuratively and literally.
You have a way with words. You got a way with words.
I'm just saying. So, if you recall, that had been going on for years about his escapades. So I don't think that he would be against it. Let me say that. I don't think that he would be against it, Lance.
Right.
But what I don't know if he would have ushered it in this way, because the bunny suit is quite iconic. And now, since everyone wants this equal footing, it's just like, just give them everything. And I don't know how I truly feel about that. I definitely don't like men not being men. I mean, love who you love, but I feel like we have to have some modicum of decorum about all of this, because we do have impressionable children, and this stuff is just being, and social media is all over the place, and they're putting this everywhere. So this is why, you know, even when I talk about parents educating their own children,
Right.
because of the fact that with social media, this is everywhere, you have to deprogram them. And a caveat to that, if you remember, when this rapper, what's his name, Lil Nas X started coming out, he was basically catering to children, okay? And so when he's decided to go and become a rogue agent, like he worked for the CIA,
of course,
he still had the following of children. And so when people go after him and say, you know what you're doing, and then he'll come back and say, well, I'm not here to basically like raise your children, etc. Yes, but you have a young audience. And when you first were garnering their attention, you were not doing this mess, and now you are. So
Right.
now that you're being called upon it, sure, it is each parent's own obligation to ensure that their children are being censored in terms of what they watch, what they hear, etc.
Yes.
But as social media is everywhere, what is one to do? I just think that because you've seen here recently as well with these athletes, more of them are dressing like myself. And so it's everywhere. It is everywhere. So when you see something this iconic, all kinds of thoughts come to my mind. And here's one for seriously. I remember being a kid and a family friend, a male,
Mm-hmm.
had stacks and stacks of those magazines. Okay, stacks and stacks and stacks, Lance. So now are men such as yourself going to be buying these with these new type of bunnies? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because they are really playing with the boys now. They are really playing with the boys. No, I'm serious. So are regular supposed to buy the, I mean, does that make them have a hidden agenda? I mean, all kinds of things just going off in my head. I mean, all it does is like I said, the masculinity, it is just eliminated, and they just keep doing it. It is in our
Right.
faces over and over and over and over. They want no sense of normalcy for children to see a dynamic, what we used to call nuclear family structure at
Mm-hmm.
all. And so, yeah, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, especially with these athletes. And these athletes, they have children themselves, but I guess they don't care because
Mm-hmm.
I believe, didn't Russell Westbrook say he wanted to be an icon? So since he wanted to be an icon, he's going to do whatever it takes to become one. That's what it
That's
sounds
right.
like to me.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm not sure what's going on. If you recall, too, see, I talk about a lot of the books that I read when I finally went to college,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the great authors that I read was Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and she talked about this. And as you know, Howard fired her. But when you go back and look at her writings, books that she wrote as well, but she used to write a lot of psychiatry journals. She used to write in those as well. But if you go back and read some of that stuff outside of the books, she had already, this was a premonition that she already realized that was going to happen. And fast forward to 2021, here it is, full tilt. It's like clairvoyancy, her being clairvoyant in all of that because she foresaw what was happening. And that made her a pariah to so many people when she would speak about this stuff. Because when she would write in a lot of the psychiatry journals, she touched on this stuff long before she even wrote it in books. See, many people don't know that. Before she started publishing books, she was already putting this stuff in these psychiatry journals. Okay. And, so that made her become a target as well. And you would think an institution such as Howard, if she's speaking truth to power, it makes you wonder how the people there, the old heads, if there's any still there now, feel about what's happening in our society based on the truths that she was telling. It makes you wonder. But it is our jobs as people within our own community, Lance, to educate our children and show them what's real. And all of this stuff, like, I mean, this is crazy. So kids are supposed to walk around and talk about they want to be one of, I mean, well, boys specifically, they want to be this for these this is, see, that's why I don't celebrate these
Halloween.
holidays. Halloween. So I go to my parent and say, hey, I want this for Halloween. What? I mean, real talk. I mean, is that what we're supposed to be doing, Lance?
I don't even have, look, I can sit here like this and not say one word, but y'all know how I feel about this. This here, people didn't want to hear it when I was saying it many, many years ago. I wasn't even on social media. I'm not saying I'm some iconic whatever, but amongst friends and anybody who got to know me, it's like, let's not confuse this for, and I don't have to explain, well, I'm not hating and I'm not bashing. I don't have to say that because it is what it is. If you take offense to me not liking this stuff and saying this has been an agenda for a long time and many of us have been kept asleep at the wheel with the other distractions, now it's coming to fruition right in front of your very eyes, what you're going to say. I'm still that stupid, out of touch conspiracy theorist. Now, maybe I'm not right on everything, but when you see so far in advance and they're doing a controlled demolition, you sitting there up under the building, you watch them put bombs under this side and bombs under that side. They're not hiding it, they're doing a controlled demolition. But you don't know what that bomb is. You might see it or it's dressed up as a big piece of candy, or maybe they're having a party for the kids. And they're putting it in strategic positions. So when it explodes, it falls, the building falls the way they want it to fall. So in strategic positions in schools, strategic positions with religion and tying the hands of the pastors who should be speaking the truth, they got them tied. Now in school, you got them tied. The entertainment world, they play around lightly and introduce certain things. This is a long-term plan. See, the others, have been with this. They've been doing it for a long, long time, especially in Hollywood. Rock Hudson, a heartthrob to many white women and a foolish bit of sisters. They found out that he would have these parties with dozens of young boys. What you think he was doing with them? And is it a surprise that he died the way he died? I mean, hell, you straight and have that many partners, you're probably gonna die that way. Reckless, but they covered it up in Hollywood from way back. From when Hollywood first came to be, the agenda was that. And they know that with life imitating art, we are so gullible, sitting up in front of the TV. It's good show. Mm-hmm. And they slowly introduce, you know, I'm nuts. Look, I think I got the last set of straight nuts. We know good brothers now. I'm just saying, I'm not backing up off of this bad boy. This has been the plan, and we've been distracted, and now it's come out in our face, and they're going after the minds of our children. To heck with people like me at my age, almost 60 years old. We know what you're saying is the truth, but you'll be dead and gone in 40 years, 45 years, or maybe even 20 if you talk too much. See? So now, let's focus it on those who have the power and the melanin and traditionally are not that. Now we know we're going to have some that look like us. Oh no, in Africa it's so. Shut up. I see so much strength. Now they're trying to introduce that over here to Ghana, right? And bring and suggest it and make it seem like it's an option. If something's not on the menu, you'll never ask for it. I know in nature, and I know with the terminal on the bank, you got negative and positive. You got male and female. You got yin and yang. You got the bolt and you got the nut. There's nothing else. I'm not knocking you if you go against the grain and against the threading of the bolt or the nut. But you can force that, but it's deeper than just the physical. It's a spiritual thing against nature, against the creator, because those who are behind that hate it. They hate it. And straight black masculinity is not allowed in this world. If you are a penis possessor and you are aiming that penis at a woman's vagina in your intimacies, you are committing a crime. So they have to wipe it out subtly over time and give it an option. It's about the black man, y'all. They got some of them, but that's not my fight because they don't care. This is what they do. They want us in that. 9% of the world population, they want us pointing our sperm bag and penis up in the next man's anus, and we know there's no life up there. I don't care how much Captain Kirk or Mr. Spock might fly up that way. A lifelong mission to find life. And the closest thing they'll find is a planet Uranus. But there's no life up there. There's nothing like the black man and the black woman procreating and loving each other and building community. This is what it's about. And they're pushing it on us, and now we can't say nothing about it. I'm sorry to take over so much. Tell me how you feel about that.
Well, I guess when I think about being a child, as I said, a family friend having all of these particular issues of this magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I was a child now and I ran across these and that image, the imagery on the cover was different. Now, I do remember the controversy, wasn't it in, I think it was 2017,
Mm-hmm.
that they had the first Alphabet Boy on like a special edition cover. Now, I don't know how well that went over. I mean, I wasn't following that stuff, but that was right after Hugh had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That was right after he had passed away. And so now you got this. And I don't know about in Florida or in New York, but I want to say 2 summers ago, or 2 years ago, in Houston, they had some issues with some predators reading at the library to school-age children. They were not vetting these people, and the people were coming.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming dressed like me. The parents
Right.
weren't. Yeah, do you
Right.
remember that?
I remember that.
I don't know if the parent, if memory serves me correctly, the parents were
Mm-hmm.
not informed that all this was going to be going on. And then to come to find out that these people were on the registry.
Right.
So when you usher in all of this emasculation,
Right.
and then people who are actually wanting to act on it, what does that do again to well, I'm going to talk about the black family because I'm black. What does that do
Right.
to the black family? Is
Well,
that a way to control pop or no?
okay. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's a multi-level situation. You know, it's almost like when you get something for the price of one and get 3 things. Number one, it ensures that the future generations, as this is more and more or presented as an option in the imagery into the heads of our children, some of them are going to go that way. If they don't have strong households, there are a lot of black families that are not part of strong households. I'm not going to knock and say, well, the single parent household is not as strong, whatever, but you got to have that strong presence. It's the energy. If there's no man, it is better be a man there who passes through and who has a great influence there. Man and woman, female energy. Look, we've had families where the father may have passed away, the mother may have passed away, but if we don't get back to that village mentality, where we get in, where we fit in, and this family needs more of this energy, so we're going to spread it around righteously. We need to go back to that.
Right, because
So now, go
ahead.
ahead. Well,
Well,
no, I was just
if you recall, they had Playgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Playgirl was supposed to be for the women.
Women, yeah.
And it would be images of men in there. Why couldn't they have put that in there? You see what's happening here? You see what's happening, right?
Yeah, blurred lines.
Yes.
Blurred lines. Yes. And many people don't know, but I found this out in New York City many years ago. You know, when you have the bunny ears, like we have in the thumbnail for the video, and the bunny ears are sticking up like this. Well, you know, it's a gay sign. Not me putting up 2 fingers. I'm saying the bunny ears on the logo for Playboy. When one ear is pointed down or bent a little bit, that means it's a gay thing. I'm surprised they didn't do that with that image.
Okay.
Yes. And when you see on the back of cars, right, the Playboy bunny image, some people have it with a sticker and it's the 2 ears sticking up. But when you have that one ear sticking down, that's a secret way of saying I'm with the rainbow. You see?
Okay.
And so people, yeah. You pull up on the red light and you have another, hey, what's your name? Pull over. They know. It's like a secret Masonic order in so many different ways. And people say, well, no, there's no agenda. Well, those who are part of the LGBTQ community who may not be officially in it politically, who've had their influences and experiences, of course they're going to say it's not like I'm a card carrier member of some organization. But there are people strategically up top who are there to influence, and they use us to influence. So you can't tell me Lil Nas X isn't an agent of that kind of twisted change. First, go after the kids and get their attention. Now, bring your attentions elsewhere. And like the Pied Piper, you're leading them off while you play this horn. And they're just because they like Lil Nas X from before, but now he switches up. And now it's a whole different direction he's going in from the original one. And now he wants to wash his hands of it. But he knew even from back then, you're not afforded any bit of fame in Hollywood or the entertainment industry now on pure talent alone. No, you have to be part of what they tell you to do. And so many of us tell over and over, this is what it is, but they don't want to believe it. It doesn't mean that you're going to be an instrument of change just for the LGBTQ community, right? But see, it may be something else. They may be giving you masculine roles now, so later on, after 10 years of being a successful Black actor, you can say, well, all along I've been gay, or I'm coming out, or whatever. Why does it have to be that? Why? Everything now has it, to the point where when you have a show on TV, which I don't watch it, right? I may look at CNN every now and then for the visuals of what's happening online, and I know how to filter in my mind what really is, because they can't hide their fangs in any situation from me. But you got to ask yourself, why is it like that? Because they see these images up here in these official magazines and official businesses, and it's always the talk. Why? You can do what you want to do behind closed doors. You can do what you do behind closed doors. If I'm an official, let's be shocking. If I'm an official booty licker, I'm not going to say, well, we're the Association and Union of Booty Lickers, and we like this activity, and I have to hit the woman in the back with my tongue every time. We should unite, and we should have this in every single show. If that's what I do behind closed doors, whose business is it? Whose business is it? Even on a hetero level. I don't go out there and screw and get blowjobs in the middle of the street. Hey, I'm straight. I can do this. No. We don't need, like, if you show affection, you hold a woman's hand, whatever. But I had dudes get in front of my bus when I was driving the bus in Orlando, and they looking at me, and they might have known me while they rode my bus as this dude who throws off this image of imagery or vibe of this guy's straight. They know who's who. These two jokers, one black and one white, got in front of my bus when the light was turning yellow, it was turning green, and they start tongue kissing out. And while they was tongue kissing and looking to see if I'm pissed off, I was like this. They can take it. They can take all day. I'm getting paid. But why do you have to bring me the shock effect? Why are you angry at me for being at peace with myself, with who I am in my heart? Why? Why the push? I don't know.
Well, it seems to me, just if we talk about it, even in the aspect of business, if you have two, you had Playboy and you have Playgirl, right? And if Playboy is for the men and Playgirl is for the women, so what happens to your consumer base who buys Playboy, right? And then they happen to open it up and see this. From a business perspective, for me, outside of thinking about an additional agenda, which we know is going on,
right.
But it seemed like to me you would be afraid to lose your core base of customers because unless they are living a different type of lifestyle. Because if I've been buying this magazine, let's say for 10 to 15 years, and it's just been women, and then you start mixing in other stuff, I mean, what is one supposed to think? Or are we deceiving them by not being transparent about what's going on? There is some nefariousness in that as well. And for the people that will find